golden night. So much there is to see, my friend. From the city to the shore, grab a stool, we'll find an end to keep us wanting more. Down under's calling, can't you hear? Echoes in the breeze, feel the magic everywhere in the rustling of the trees. Mountains rise and rivers flow, adventures wait around. Meet the world on a winding road in every little town. Oh, the land, it seems to me, with a tune as wild as sea. Hands up high and voices free. Down under's where I'll be. Down under's calling, can't you hear?
Well, g'day. Welcome aboard, folks. Yes, thank you very much. Very happy to be here with you. And of course, g'day, Joe. Welcome aboard, buddy. Nice to have you on board. Yes, mate, you are foist. And as we know, there will be a few more coming in. And if you're watching on the replay, well, thank you very much for watching. And by the way, while we go ahead, good on you, Shaz. Welcome aboard, Shaz. Nice to have you here. Really a pleasure to see you. Hey, I got some news for you. Maybe you can join us later on. You never know, stranger things could happen. But as it says here, the rock and roll is rocking. So we're going to have some good times and get lots of people on board with us, having fun in the sun. Joe's put in the hashtag duck. So if you go down the path of putting in hashtag duck, you too will have such a response from Nightbot. It'll give everybody your channel links, and there we go. So that's Joe's channel links. Well, folks, I don't know if you guys were watching yesterday on Helping Hands for Cruising, but this lady just came in and took over my my stream, and I'm really grateful to her. It was a great night we had with Crystal there. She was asking a whole heap of questions. Well, it was night for us, and sparrow fart time for her in the morning, but she got up, did her bit, and of course, the interview went down really well. Hey, Mary Ellen Dillon, welcome aboard. Nice to have you here. Gee, it's nice to have you at the right time of the day. I hope you guys are enjoying your cruise. If you're near Tasmania, that means you would have gone past Melbourne. So, welcome aboard. Nice to have you here, and I hope that all of you guys are having an awesome time today. What can I say? It's cruising down under is something special. That's all I can say. Is cruising down under is something special. So I hope you guys are having a great time. I know you had a good time in Sydney. So there we go. Daniel Jose, welcome aboard, buddy. Nice to have you here. This is like really early in the morning for you. So really appreciate you being here and welcome aboard. So Mary Ellen Dillon, you are cruising right now with Mike and Betsy. You guys left from Sydney. I thought you left from Brisbane. Don't know why, but they were talking about Brisbane. Anyway, you guys left from Sydney. What a trip. You're on the Carnival Splendor, is that right? Or have I got that ship wrong? But I was wondering, how did you enjoy Sydney Harbour? I think it's got to be one of the most beautiful harbours in the world, especially when you're out at the overseas passenger terminal. You're looking to your left, and there's Sydney Harbour. There's Sydney Opera House. You're looking to your right, and there's the coat hanger. Sydney Harbour Bridge. And it's got to be one of the most exquisite harbours to actually live in. And you know what's even more amazing is when you actually go in on a cruise in White Bay, and the ship has to actually go underneath the bridge. It certainly looks like you've gone under a starship almost. It's an amazing feeling. and you're always holding your breath, hoping that the funnel doesn't actually hit. But yeah, it's an amazing experience. You guys got to experience it. Joe is saying that he's a tad biased when it comes to Sydney. Proud New South Wales resident there. Well, mate, you know what? I'm a proud Victorian. Melbourne has got to be one of the most gorgeous cities in the world to live in. Sydney does have its attraction in that the harbour is gorgeous. Don't know about the rest of the place, but anyway, for those that are interested, please check out the Helping Hands for Cruising.org website. It's been undergoing some updates and it's certainly looking amazing. But just to give you guys a bit of a heads up, Rock and Roll Tribute Cruise is back on the 29th of November this year. So some of us are actually getting our passports organised and our visas that we need to get organised. So it's actually going to be happening. The difference is the ship behind me is the Encore. So it is going to be on the Encore. And of course, what more do I say? But it's going out of Miami. Unfortunately, not Canaveral. That's a different ship. And the good news is it is the Encore. And the benefit to that is it's nice and big, and the price has been dealt with accordingly. So, folks, you can go ahead and get in touch with Bruce at Ocean to Ocean Travel and certainly get yourself on the Rock and Roll Tribute Cruise. What can I say? Joke. What do you call smart people in the USA? Oh, tourists. Yeah, it depends on where they're touring to, right? Especially if they're coming down under. You got to be careful, Joe, when sometimes you make those comments because you could upset an American's feelings. You never know what things could happen. Thank you for that, Joe. Joe put up the website. Now, I don't know if you guys have been noticing also the Down Under Cruises has a website. Check out our website. There's an opportunity for you to respond to vlogs, and there are a couple of blogs in there right now. You can respond to them and give us your opinions. Those opinions may or may not end up on the channel. It's up to you, but the good news is you fill in whatever you want to fill in, and we then check it out from there. It is being updated at least once a week, so yeah, all exciting stuff. Joe is saying, if he remembers correctly, email Bruce at ocean2oceantravel.com for bookings for the RNR Tribute Cruise. Absolutely, you've got it right, Joe. Thank you very much. Sharon, yes, I did hear from Jimmy. On Monday, he did get another one of his injections, and I think it's wiped him out a bit. As a result, I believe tonight and or this morning your time and Friday morning, I think he's doing a miss on the live stream, unfortunately, just so that he can get himself right. And apparently the numbers that he received when they did his blood work did not come up to scratch. So the doctors are practicing more medicine on him. So we'll see how he goes. Thank you for that, Joe. Much appreciated. The downunder.cruises.com. That's the website for the Down Under Cruises. Go in and have a look at the website, see how we've done. There is some more update to be done to it, but we're getting there. Well, if it isn't Boomer, how are you, buddy? Tell me, how's Lance doing? To go to bed, Sean, it's too early for this. Mate, you need to just wake up. It is almost tail end of the evening. It is 2000 hours, but the good news is we are headed down to putting our heads down and getting some snooze. Anyway, Joe is saying Jimmy will not be live today or Friday. He'll be back on Monday. That's correct. He's just getting over that injection he had. Joe is saying to Boomer, it's just after 8 p.m. for me and Sean. So there we go. And then Boomer's saying, okay, he's awake. I don't know about that Lance guy. Boomer might be awake, but is Lance awake, Boomer? You tell me. Well, 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 if it isn't Marjorie. How are you going, Marjorie? Hey, Marjorie, expect a phone call from Bruce fairly soon. The news is all good. The cruise is on. So your roomie, Kenny, will have to get himself all organised. Um, Sharon is saying, yeah, Sean, I understand what Jimmy's going through. I know exactly what Jimmy's going through. Yeah, it's not fun. And I know he's doing well. He's doing as well as he can. And mentally, he's PMA, his mind's in the right place, which is awesome. Joe is saying, Joe hands Boomer a coffee. But you gotta do it in the right way. Mm. Joe hands Boomer a coffee. Mm. Yeah, that was not a good Yoda, but I'll have to improve on it. My voice plays funny things. Well, Nightbot is telling some lies. It's saying that it's brunch, but do remember it is evening. Um, Shaz, you're not the only one. We all hate it with a passion. Period. My dad suffered from it. He had Hodgkinson's lymphoma, and he got over it. He also had prostate cancer, so he got over that too. What took him was his heart. But yep, we all get it. They don't call it cancer for nothing, yeah, because it's shocking. Joe is saying, you and me both, Sharon, cancer is one horrible thing. It sure is. It sure is. Oh boy. Okay, so some of the good news. You got that right. It's true, Joe. You got that right. Okay, so this I don't have a promo for the rock and roll just yet. That will be completed within the week. Helping Hands for Cruising will be having a board meeting coming up on Saturday. So there'll be a few things discussed, and one of the things will be the promo for the Rock and Roll Tribute Cruise. But folks, we do have a cruise coming up in June, going out of Seattle, and Bruce has asked me to just promote this because we have a recipient going on board, and he'd love it if some people would join him on that cruise. So let's have a look and see what it says.
Have you been dreaming of an Alaskan cruise? Or maybe you've taken one before and you just can't wait to go again. If so, the Helping Hands for Cruising Group Cruise is just the cruise for you. June 15th through June 22nd, 2025, you will set sail on the magnificent Norwegian Encore. This amazing group cruise will take you to Juneau, Skagway, a majestic cruise through Glacier Bay, Ketchikan, a stop in Victoria, British Columbia before arriving back in Seattle. Contact Bruce at ocean2oceantravel.com today to find out how you can be a part of this fantastic group cruise to Alaska. This is one you definitely don't want to miss.
Two right there, Greg. This is one you definitely do not want to miss. Unfortunately, we were not successful last night in our bid to $70 million, but I believe it's being updated to $100 million next week, Tuesday. So we'll certainly give that a go and see how we perform in that one. Maybe we will be able to afford the cruise that Bruce is organising. G'day, Benay. Welcome aboard. Nice to have you here. It's been a while. I'm glad you finally popped in or you are in the right frame of mind to enjoy our stream today. We're looking forward to some good news. Joe's saying g'day to Benay. Long time no see. Benay is saying g'day to everyone. She has 1:15 a.m. Actually, it's 20:15 where we are. So, a couple of hours ahead of you. Joe is saying to Benay, 8:15 here, where we are. Well. Guten Tag, Herr Darien. Wie geht's? from Bart Ben. Oh, goodness me. You give me this German and I can't even speak my own language. The German. By the way, Darian, I didn't even say spaghetti ice once. But now that you've come up, I'm going to say it another twice. Spaghetti ice, and fresh. Now, I will say I am a little bit disappointed in you, Darian. And the reason why I'm disappointed in you is you threw it in Ruffy's face. You eating spaghetti ice when he couldn't get any. So there we go. Welcome aboard. Nice to have you here. And also, howdy everyone from Darian. He's saying it is 10:15 where he is. Awesome. So you're just starting your morning. So hopefully we're not going to interrupt your vacationing or whatever it is you're doing there while we go on and chat away. Bernay is saying, I'm surprised you don't have lots more followers in Australia in here. Depends on the day and depends on who's around. We know we will get a few pop in a little later on. So there we go. Darian is saying spaghetti ice bitter. Darian, I think you've got that wrong. Spaghetti ice isn't bitter. It's very sweet. It's ice cream, for God's sake. Seriously. I mean, geez. I've got to teach you everything. G'day from Shaz, going out to Bernay and Joe. Joe is saying Darian's in the naughty corner. Yep, he is. Darian's got a bit of a giggle there. And Bernay is going, greetings, everyone. It's pretty late night, so she's slow to, in a slow mode, ready to sleep. Hey, you were here, Bernay. Thank you for popping in. And if you do decide you need to sleep, please go ahead. You can listen to my dulcet tones. I'll actually put you to sleep. Well, that's what Kenny does every time I go on a channel with him. Joe is saying, Bernay, I'm here to help Sean as a mod. I've got to keep an eye on the chat. He has to, because he never knows what I'm like. Darian is saying he's freezing his butt off, but still needs some spaghetti ice. Yeah, I don't get that. You freeze your butt off, but at least you're going to enjoy the thing that's going to freeze your butt off even more. I mean, it's not something you can get every day of the week, right? Bernay's having a giggle. Bernay's having a giggle, and Shaz is saying, Bernay, I've been up all night. Shaz, you need some time to actually get some sleep, because sleep is a great medicine. Talking about Aussies earlier on, I'm just going to put on this video because, as you all know or don't know, there's a cruise coming on down under. We'd love you guys to join us. Have a look. Honey.
Yes, Sean.
Have you ever thought what we would do differently for New Year's Eve?
I have actually. And what about, we've never done this before, spending New Year's Eve on a cruise?
On a cruise?
It would be so awesome. Can you imagine?
Where would we go?
I don't know, but you know what? We have one of the great natural wonders of the world just up north from us.
What?
Beautiful
Queensland?
waters, the Great Barrier Reef.
The Great Barrier Reef?
Would that be amazing?
It would.
Come from the land down under, where the sun is hot and bright, beaches cool and waves of thunder, morning turns to golden night. So much there is to see, my friend, from the city to the shore. Grab a stool, we'll find an end, keep us wanting more. Down under's calling, can't you hear? Echoes in the breeze, feel the magic everywhere, in the rustling of the trees. Mountains rise and rivers flow, adventures wait around, meet the world on a winding road in every little town. Oh, the land, it seems to me, with a tune as wild as sea. Hands up high and voices free. Down under's where I'll be. Down under's calling, can't you hear? Echoes in the breeze, feel the magic everywhere, in the rustling of the trees. Mountains rise and rivers flow, adventures wait around, meet the world on a winding road, in the rustling of the trees. Mountains rise and rivers flow, my friend, from the city to the shore. Grab a stool, we'll find an end to keep us wanting more. Down under's calling, can't you hear? Can't you hear? Those in the breeze, feel the magic everywhere, in the rustling of the trees. Now the rustling of the trees. Mountains rise and rivers flow, adventures wait around, adventures wait around, in the rustling of the trees. Mountains rise and rivers flow.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely an amazing cruise. We are certainly looking forward to it. It'll be the inaugural cruise that we're trying to put together. We will be putting it forward to the Helping Hands for Cruising Board to see whether or not we can actually make it an opportunity for us to get a recipient on board. So that'll be great. Absolutely great. Bernay is saying that she's been up all night as well. Joe is saying he's got to go to Sydney soon, hoping to see Commander Chris Hatfield when he comes to Australia. If he comes to Melbourne, he'll be coming back down and we will accompany you. Mate, that would be absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So thank you for that. Thank you very much. Look forward to it. And Joe's also looking forward to the cruise, which is going to be great. You'll book his spot in the not too distant future. Awesome. We've got a couple of things. I'll just put that out to you, Joe. I've just got to get a booking thing going forward, so we'll see how we go. Joe is saying he's never been to Cairns or Early Beach. Will be an experience. He's got his eye on the Karoonda Scenic Railway out of Cairns. Well, that's cool. There's a lot of stuff about that way. Cairns. Well, I've never been to Early Beach. I've never been to Cairns. I've actually never done the northern part of Queensland into Northern Territory. Actually, I've never done the Northern Territory. So this is going to be an absolute real hoot nanny bang deal for me. So that's going to be great. It's we're looking forward to it because we were meant to do the cruise this year, but certain things kept us from it. But right now, the next step is we will be looking forward to that cruise, and hopefully we can get a bucket load more people on board. We're trying. Jimmy reckons that he might be able to join us on that cruise because the procedure he's running through now is he's got to get his bone marrow sorted, and once the bone marrow is sorted and he's had the procedure, he will then need 100 days to rest, relax, and just stay safe. And once those 100 days are done, he will then have the ability to do some travel. And he wants to come on down under and check out. Well, we're going to be doing things like we're going to organise a trip to Australia Zoo and then go around Brisbane and then jump on the cruise, do our bit round the cruise and then head back into Brizzy and maybe even get down to the Gold Coast and that sort of stuff. So there's a few things that we want to do while we're on that cruise, along with all the people that we're going to be with. So that train, the Karoonda Scenic Railway, is like Puffing Billy. Oh, that's awesome. Puffing Billy is a steam train engine down here in Melbourne that goes from a place called Belgrave all the way up to another little township called Gembrook. So it's actually a very nice trip, and people go on it. And it is, like I said, it's not a volunteer, it's an amateur railway, and it is a fully blown steam engine. So there we go, fully restored. Nightbot is saying, welcome to brunch with the Down Under Cruises. Please support the channel so that we can support Helping Hands for Cruising. Joe is saying that it is another great historical railway, is the Zigzag Railway just a few hours from him. I didn't know there was a railway near you, Joe. Actually, we got to go up to Dubbo at some point. We were kind of in the vicinity when we went to Sydney, but I think Ilana and I got to do a bit of a trip out towards Dubbo. Anyway, it is what it is. Looking forward to having lots of fun. And now, of course, the big thing, the rock and roll tribute. So I did jump on the phone with Bruce earlier on today, and Bruce and I were talking, and he had heard from NCL, and I'll tell you what, NCL are incredible. They've bent over backwards for our cruise. The pricing on, you've got to confirm this with Bruce, but the pricing on the Encore is as comparable, if not a bit less, than what was on the Joy. So it's looking like it's going to be amazing. And Sharon is saying, yeah, after Jimmy has his procedure, he has to stay home for 100 days, and that sucks. Yep, pretty much. I believe he's already staked his claim in the studio where he does his live streams from. Apparently, Colleen has actually kicked him in there, and she's already got the bed. I believe she just keeps on oiling the key to make sure that it works so that she can lock Jimmy. No, I'm joking. Joe is saying the Zigzag Railway is at Bell, just east of Lithgow, on the Bells line of road. And how far does it go, Joe? What does it take in? What areas? The poor old Jimmy, he's got with his procedure, it's okay. So the way he explained it to me was in the old days, what they used to do was the donor would donate some of their actual bone marrow, which would then be implanted into the recipient's bone marrow, and then hopefully it all worked and the good bone marrow would take over the negative. What they do today is they take a swab of the mouth to test whatever, and then they take a bit of blood. They work on the blood to get the stem cells out of the blood, and then they inject the stem cells into the recipient, and that way it should actually work on fighting all the negative stuff, and hopefully that starts to create new blood cells and everybody's happy. So we're hoping that that's the way it works. All right, Joe is saying that the Zigzag Railway goes all the way down to the bottom of the valley at Zigzag. His brother and he did half the trip on the Zigzag Rail with Mum and Dad 1 year. So you only went one way, right? So that's what's happening with Jimmy. And if he can make it, then he then comes on to the Ducks cruise. Now, we've already got, there are currently 5 cabins already booked. 2 definite, 1 more in the works, and then a couple of Aussies. So that's going to be absolutely amazing. Got some really good things coming on there. All the information for that cruise will be in the Down Under Cruises website. We'll try and put some of that onto the Helping Hands as well. Okay, Joe is saying that it went halfway. It was late in the afternoon when they did it. Oh, I didn't know that a train would only go halfway. I thought it would go from point A to point B, and if you wanted to, you could do the return. So there you go. Anyway, so the interesting thing is that the Encore is as big, if not bigger, than the Joy. So it's because it's a sister ship. So it's got some good things happening there. Lots of one of the things that we're looking to do is Cagney's, which is the steak restaurant. Apparently, it's also got a teppanyaki restaurant. So there will be that and a couple of other meals. Now, there'll be some special guests on board. Not only will we have the bands, but we'll also have people who are coming. There'll be quite a few people who are first-time offenders. Mike and Rihanna from Mike and Rihanna's Adventures from Canada. There'll be Ross and his lovely wife Donna will be on board there. Bruce and his lovely wife Cindy will be on board. Obviously, we will be going. Kenny and Miss Marjorie will be on board. Scott from Controversial Cruising will be on board, and I believe he's going with his dad or brother or someone like that. And roughly, we've got 64 cabins sold right now. We currently have 200 booked, so we're a third of the way roughly. So please, if you are thinking about coming on the cruise, on the Rock and Roll Tribute, please get it done. Talk to Bruce at ocean-to-oceantravel.com and tell him you're interested and you want to get ahead. I know there will be some other special guests coming on board. I'm not at liberty to tell you who they are because you have to come and meet them. It'll be a surprise. Now, I believe Jonesy is joining us on that cruise as well. So that's going to be awesome. A couple of other things we're busy trying to negotiate right now is getting Helping Hands as a non-profit right now. So that's currently in the works of the accountants, and hopefully we get that all sorted well before the Rock and Roll Tribute Cruise. But if we don't, we want it well before the Ducks Cruise. So there's going to be a lot of opportunity there. Shaz is saying that she's got to get some sleep. She's got a big day tomorrow. Good night, Sean and everyone. Prayers and praying for Jimmy. Absolutely. You have a great night, and thank you for popping in. Really appreciate you coming. And Jimmy, I know Jimmy will be watching in the background, so he would be forever grateful for those prayers. Yes, so as I say, board meeting coming up on Saturday. There'll be a lot of lively discussion about some of the things that we've got coming up. A lot of excitement happening. And once we've got it all out of the way, those of you who may or may not know, a previous board member by the name of Crystal has stepped back onto the board and has started going with fire, as you would have seen if you would have been in the Helping Hands for Cruising chat last night. She started off a new series on the channel, which is awesome, and that is Get to Know Your Board. So I was the first recipient. So next, I won't tell you who the next one is because that'll be a surprise from Crystal for that particular show when it happens. And I believe it's going to be next week. So next week, Tuesday, I think. So we'll see what's going on there. Shaz is saying, you're very much welcome, Sean. No, the pleasure's all mine. Thank you so much. Get a good night's sleep, and sleep is the best medicine, was what the doctors keep telling me. All right. Now, some of the things that are going to be happening on that cruise, I believe, because Encore's got a racetrack on it, so we will be having the Encore, the inaugural F125 race championships. And obviously, we are doing some amazing things with the Rock and Roll Tribute Cruise. It is a fundraiser, so you will walk on as a guest and you will walk off as a pauper, because we're going to make sure that you donate bucket loads to Helping Hands. By the way, just for your information, every donation that you put in, with the exception of 5% of all the takings, which has to go towards helping run the channel, that is paying for for all the legals that we need to get done, paying for the Google Drive and so forth. Other than for those expenses, everybody else is a volunteer. As a result, every cent puts somebody on a cruise. So with the cruise-a-thon that we had last weekend, or the weekend before it, we raised a total of $4,820. That to me is really amazing. I'm really grateful for that. Thank you so much to everybody who donated. The best thing about it is it's actually paid to get Gabby and her helpers on board the cruise, so they will be cruising on the Alaskan cruise. So if you want to spend some time with Gabby, the recipient, please go ahead, get on board the cruise with Bruce and Gabby and go and enjoy Alaska. So that's going to be amazing. Joe is saying that he's hoping to be in Brisbane by December 24th, 2026. He wants to spend Christmas there. He knows some seriously cool places in Brisbane that he wants to show us. Places like Max Brenner Chocolatier, the Charming Squire. Yes, we do have Max Brenner here in Melbourne, so we've had experience there. The chocolate is amazing, let me say, and more. Yeah, there's plenty more there. So we would be extremely excited to partake in Max Brenner's chocolate, because his chocolate is awesome, especially in the hot chocolate variety. Lots of different flavors and so forth. So there we go. Yes, there will be a couple of other celebrities. I was talking to them today, and they're organising their passports for the Rock and Roll Tribute. It's a husband and wife team, and they will be on the Rock and Roll Tribute Cruise out of Miami. So once I tell you what they've done, you'll know exactly who they are. So I'm not going to tell you what they've done, but you know it every Tuesday when we do the HH4C live. So there you go. I'm not going to say anymore. Not going to say anymore. Seriously, no, not going to say anymore. Anyway, let's get on with it. All right, so Rock and Roll Tribute, the Alaska Cruise, the Ducks Cruise coming up. I mean, if you think about it, Helping Hands has had 3 cruises so far, 4 recipients. With the Alaska Cruise, it'll be 5 recipients, and with the Rock and Roll Tribute, we're putting on another 2. So that'll be 7 recipients to date. I was told that the goal for the recipient number is 100,000 recipients. Can you believe that? If we can do 100,000 recipients, we've just given 100,000 people an opportunity to have a vacation of a lifetime, go and enjoy all the things that we've enjoyed. Now, I'm going to ask a question for everybody out there. What is the one place that you are forever grateful you went to? It made such an impact in your life. Let me see. For us, it was actually for us, it was the entire cruise. And that was when we took Kenny with us. That was amazing. It was a great affair, because we went to places like Bonaire. And when we were in Bonaire, that's when Kenny's eyes were really illuminated. So that's amazing. And then, of course, we keep on adding to it, and we're getting more and more people coming on board. Amy took Roxanne on her cruise. That was our last recipient. I tell you what, Roxy, you had to tie her feet to the floor if she was going to keep quiet. But hey, she was all over the place, having fun, talking to the cruise director, getting herself ships on a stick and things I've never had in my life. I'm eternally jealous, but you never know. Stranger things could happen. Joe is saying that the special for him was for him it was to be in Coffs Harbour, New South Wales. Wasn't a cruise, but his first major holiday in 2012. Was that your first major holiday that you paid for, or that you went with others? And then you get these people. The things that really upset me is then you get these people like Mr. Darien, Mr. Spaghetti Ice, who goes to Germany at least once a year, if not twice, has himself a spaghetti ice and a schnapps and whatever else he can get out of Germany. It makes you really, really jealous. And then, of course, you've got this guy like Rafael Viso. I mean, what does he do? Seriously? He goes to Spain once a year. Seriously? You'd think he's got family there or something. Oh, yeah, he does. Silly me. Well, g'day, Jonesy. How you going today? 25C for you. That's a hot day. Yeah. Let me see. What did we have today? It's currently 18, feels like 14. Today we actually made it to 21. I kind of figure it was a bit warmer than 21, to be honest. I believe the wind is blowing southerly, and we have it at 57% humidity. So there you go. That's what it is right now. Now, Jonesy, just wondering whether you're still joining us on the Rock and Roll Tribute Cruise, because that's going out of Miami now on the Norwegian Encore, November 29 to December 6. We're headed down there, so it would be great if you joined us. Bruce will get in contact with you and let you know. But also, we will be having our Ducks Cruise December the 29th, heading through to January the 4th. So that's going to be awesome. All right. Joe is saying it was his first major holiday as a reward after working for 5 and a bit years in his current job. He can also remember the dates, Friday the 13th to Monday the 16th of July. Seriously, Friday the 13th? It went down well? No, you're not superstitious, are you? I hope not. Jonesy, just to give you a heads up, we're asking the question because the Rock and Roll Tribute Cruise is going to have 2 recipients on board. The question we were asking is, what was the one vacation, one holiday that you've taken that really, if you were to think back, you would say, man, I'm so glad I did that. So glad I did that. Joe is saying that he'll send us a photo from that day. It's one he'll never forget. Awesome. And Joe is saying he's not superstitious, not in the slightest. Well, no, you couldn't be, because you spent time with us when you were down in Melbourne. So, yeah, I can get that one. I can understand that one. Yeah. Well, folks, it's we've been going for 45 minutes. So there we go. Jonesy is saying his great one would be his daughter is getting married in May. He will have to see how much he has left after that. Mate, tell her to pay for herself. And is the wedding going to be in Brisbane, or is the wedding going to be in Tasmania, in Burnie? Because if it's in Burnie, then it's relatively cheap. If it's well, actually, you know what you could do if it's not too hard? Bring them on the Rock and Roll Tribute Cruise. Oh, it's in Brisbane. Bring them on the Rock and Roll Tribute Cruise as a honeymoon. Now, there's the fact, Jack. Yeah. Joe is saying that he's got nothing but good things to say about us and Ilana, mate. He's proud to say he was absolutely honoured to meet us. Well, thank you for that. I wasn't looking for the big head, but every time you pay me a compliment, I feel like something's swelling in my head, like I've got to, no, I'm joking. Joe is saying down to earth and lovely and awesome. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. You just booked the venue. Ah, mate, did you use the words wedding? Because if you use the words wedding, prices go up three times. It goes up every syllable. Where I want to hold a function. This is how much it is. The function is where, okay, this much plus 10%. Ed, okay, that much more plus 20%. Ding. Oh, it's 30% more. Yeah, maybe not 30, maybe 300%. Anyway, you just mention it and then seriously. Jonesy's last trip to the USA and meeting Morgan Freeman was special. Cool. For me, it was being chauffeur to John Travolta. That was mine. But then when you're a chauffeur, you get to drive everybody around, so it's kind of like a vacation. So that was my background many thousands of years ago. Anyway, well, folks, I'm going to call it a night. I've kind of imparted all the info I need to impart. Friday night, for those across the pond, Friday night we will be doing, well, come and see. It's going to be an awesome night. That's 2 p.m. on Saturday Arvo for those of us that are this side of the pond. Hopefully we'll get everybody in and there'll be a huge chat up. Other than that, we will catch up with you. Jonesy is saying the wedding was not planned for this year, but the venue had a cancellation, so they took it. Well, and that must have, I hope they gave you a bit of a discount when they did it. Anyway, there'll be more coming out of Helping Hands by the channel itself. Those of you who will hang around and have a look, it'll be awesome. They wanted to do what do you do? Yep, that's true. What do you do? It's your kids. You do whatever they want. Anyway, folks, I'm going to wish you all a good night. And we will catch you on Friday night. For those across the pond, for those on our side of the pond, we will catch you on Saturday Arvo. We wish you all a safe week. And as we say in the classics, see you later.
Come from the land down under, where the sun is hot and bright, beaches cool and waves of thunder, morning turns to golden night. So much there is to see, my friend, from the city to the shore. Grab a stool, we'll find an end to keep us wanting more. Down under's calling, can't you hear? Echoes in the breeze, feel the magic everywhere, in the rustling of the trees. Mountains rise and rivers flow, adventures wait around. Meet the world on a winding road in every little town. Oh, the land, it seems to me, with a tune as wild as sea, hands up high and voices free.